Country Gardens to give you some tips on a spring pond cleaning. I've gotten together some of the tools and products that we're going to need. I've got some products here that are going to make the water safe for the fish when we put them back in. I've got some nets to catch up the fish. I've got a shop vac to get the muck and debris off the bottom. I've got a holding tank for my fish, as well as a net to cover them over. And I've got a pump to pump out the water. The object of the spring cleaning is to get the muck and debris off the bottom of the pond. The easiest way to do that is to remove all the water and the fish from the pond. We're going to start by putting our pump right into the pond. You can use a sump pump, or if you have your pond pump is large enough, you could also use that. I've got an inexpensive hose attached to it. This one is a swimming pool hose. You can also use a sump pump hose. You don't have to put the pump right on the bottom to start out with. The cleaner water is probably at the top, so you can start up on the shallower areas of the pond, pumping water from the pond into the holding tank for the fish. We're trying to make the transition as less stressful for the fish as possible, so we're going to fill the holding tank halfway full with pond water. The rest of the water will be discharged into our garden area. Pump down the pond until it's shallow enough so that the fish fins are practically sticking out of the water. That's going to make it easier on both you and the fish to remove them from the water. You can use a deep fish net to catch them up. If you don't have a deep net, maybe you only have a shallow leaf skimming net, you can use that to coax fish into some kind of a basket, say a laundry basket. You can also use a laundry basket for larger fish, and gently remove the fish from the water into the holding tank. Once you get the fish into the holding tank, be sure to cover them over. They do tend to jump when they're moved into a tank like this. And start running the tap water into the holding tank. What that's going to do is help to adapt the fish to both the pH and the water temperature of the new water coming from the old water. It's a good idea to test the tube before you start as well, for pH specifically. Just a quick test to let you know what they're coming out of, what they're going into, and also water temperature. You don't want the temperature to be more than 10 degrees difference between what they've come out of and what they're going into. But running your tap water into the holding tank while they're in there slowly, while you're cleaning and draining the rest of the pond, will help to make that process gradual if there is a difference. You want to be sure that you add in a dechlorinator anytime you're putting fish into tap water. Either Vanish or Stress Coat, there's others on the market. That'll help to remove the chlorine and the chloramine, which can be very toxic to fish. Continue pumping your water out of the pond until your pump can no longer do it for you, and then you're going to switch to the shop vac. Use the shop vac to get the muck and the debris off the bottom of the pond. Don't worry about scrubbing the sides and getting them super clean. A little bit of biofilm on the sides will help to reestablish the good bacteria in the pond when you return the fish. If you don't have a shop vac, you can also use a dustpan and brush and use your hose to just wash everything into the lowest level of the pond and get it out from there. Don't forget to clean out your skimmer and your biofilms as well. This would be the time of the year before the good bacteria gets growing to make sure you have a good clean biofilms to start off with. Once you're done cleaning, you've got your fish acclimated in their holding tank, you're going to begin to fill the pond with water. Again, be sure to use a dechlorinator for the new water going in. Begin filling the pond. You can pump water from the holding tank, if it's clean, into the pond as well, and then place your fish back in the water. You don't have to wait for the pond to be full to put your fish back in. As long as there's enough water for the fish, you're safe to do so at any time. Fill your pond all the way up. Get your pumps, your filter, your UV lights going. Once you've got all of those things going, you can begin to add in your beneficial bacteria, something to help restart and jumpstart up that biological filter. Do not begin feeding your fish until your pumps and your filters are running and the water temperature is over 50 degrees. Once you're at that point, you can begin feeding a low protein or a wheat germ cold water based food slowly. Start off maybe every few days, just a little bit, and let that biosystem grow at the same time that you begin to increase your fish feeding. Also, when you want to keep the muck and sludge off the bottom as much as possible, start with your muck busters. Start with your biological bacteria that will help to break down the organic matter in the pond. Please check back for any other videos we're going to make on cleaning filters and putting together UV lights. Thank you.